Yo, this doesn't look too shabby. I like this. So I've just kind of thrown up a couple other lights or whatever, but I mean, this is a decent little setup now. So today we're talking about, I have my phone, we're going to talk about the newly announced Sony FE 50mm f1.2 G Master SEL50 f1.2 GM. That's a lot to say. The question is it worth it? Is it worth the price? Should you get it? Well, let's talk about it. So, as per usual, I'm going to show you my screen because I think it'll help out a lot when we talk some of these specs. But I'm going to click on the B&H logo, load up B&H, because that's where we want to get our information from. Let's run through some of these specs. So, right off the bat, $1,998, so $2,000 for this lens. Does it look really cool? Absolutely. Have I seen some other people use it? Absolutely. Does it look really good? Sure, it's a G Master. You get that pretty orange tag that everybody wants to see. And of course they have it on what, the 7R4? Something like that? A1? Yeah, so it looks good. Let's look at the specs. That's what we need to know for right now. Is it worth it based on specs and price? So if we have the spec sheet, obviously you get the focal length, you that 50mm prime lens, f1.2 maximum aperture, so beautiful lens, it's super big. Minimum apertures f16, which totally makes sense. It's for the Sony E-mount cameras, which there are several of. It's obviously a full frame lens. Your minimum focus distance is 15.7 inches, which is pretty good. It means it's going to get pretty close to your subjects before it won't pick up focus anymore, which is good. Let's see, optical design, you get 14 elements and 10 groups. That's a lot of glass. That's a lot of good quality glass right there. Your diaphragm blades are 11. You get 11 rounded diaphragm blades, which means it's not going to be like Ratatouille at the beginning where he's chopping up, just chopping the vegetables or whatever.
What are you doing?
I'm cutting vegetables. I'm cutting the vegetables.
No, you waste energy and time.
It's going to look super nice. Those bokeh pieces in your out of focus elements are going to look good. They're going to look nice and rounded. I think that's probably one of my biggest things that I like seeing in lenses, especially ones that are supposed to be that sharp. You want to see good bokeh. So 11 rounded diaphragm blades is really good. Obviously you get focus, autofocus, no image stimulation. Why do I keep saying stimulation? Image stabilization. So that could be a problem if you're going to try and run your video with no actual in-body stabilization. May have to throw it on a gimbal. Good to know for the video guys. If you didn't already know, I'm a photography person, so that's not going to be my huge deal, but it could be for you, which is why we want to mention it. You get a filter size. Your front element is 72 millimeters, which is good, which is pretty average, so it means a lot of your other filters, whether they be NDs or polarizers or whatever, are going to fit this lens, which is super good. It's helpful when you have a lot of similar glass. So for that instance, it's pretty good. Dimensions and weight. So this is a big old boy.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick.
But it might not be ridiculously heavy, which is good because you're probably already going to be throwing it on something lightweight anyway. So you don't want it to give it a whole lot of heft, but it is something to think about. Now is the question where we decide, are these specifications worth your money? Is it worth $1,998 plus tax for the quality that you're trying to get in your photos? So with that in mind, we're talking about quality, price, and performance. So are price and performance and quality equal? Meaning, usually when you see bigger price tags for lenses, they typically mean better performance or better quality or sharpness, or you're buying it for some feature or whatever. So the question is, do those elements match? Are they going to be worth it for your money? And to be honest, I mean, right up front, I don't know. It might depend on what you're shooting. But for me, I think this is one of those cases where there are some other options available that might be better suited for most of the market. And I want to point those out. Let me get that phone back. So we're looking at things that are comparable, but also maybe a little bit differently priced. So we're just going to go to the shopping thing. So we're looking at the tag shopping. We got Sony 50 mil. So the question is, can we find something? All right. So we have the FE mount 50 mil f1.8 for E-mount cameras, $200 on Adorama or Adorama, whatever. Then you got the Sony planar 50 mil f1.4 Zeiss for $12.59. Same site. You got Sigma 50 1.4 at $579. Let's see, another planar 50 mil 1.4 for $8.99 on B&H. 50 mil 1.4 pancake for $4.48. I mean, there are just so many other options when you're talking about 50 mil. The question is, are these worth it when you're talking about quality of your performance in your photos? Are you really going to notice between something that is priced at $600 versus something that's priced at $2,000? I know we've seen all of those images, and you watch those TikToks or you watch those Twitter feeds that show you two images and then they say A and B, and then the question is, can you tell the difference? So the question is, can you tell a difference? And in most cases, for me, I have to be completely honest. I work with photography all the time, and there are so many times that I get those wrong. Some other people will play devil's advocate and say, oh, well, you know, those are uploaded to mobile sources, and they are dealing with the bit rates of the sources and the color profiles of the website. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, those people. And on that, I say, you know what? All the same people that are uploading to those sites are the same people that are going to upload that you're going to upload to. So the question is, does it matter all the time? No, 100% no. So that's why I wanted to give you guys this, and the fact that sometimes when we're dealing with quality and performance and price, they don't equal, and they may not be worth it. So when you're talking about getting those quality photos that you want and paying $2,000+ on a lens, you got to be able to like make that point and say, oh, you know what? I'm actually doing a production shoot. I'm actually working with a client who is going to pay me for these images, and it'll be worth it. So if that's the case, it very well could be. You might be the person that needs this lens, but if you're not, I think, and I have to like put this as a caveat, because I'm not just trying to downplay on Sony or Canon, which I shoot most of the time, Nikon, Fuji, any of them. They're always going to have those high-end lenses, right, for that clientele. But what happens is those people will market to they'll put out a product and they'll market it, right? And then you'll see the top YouTubers, you'll see the top TikTokers, the top photographers run those lenses and run those pieces of gear. And you'll get stuck in that because that's all you're going to see on your feed is everybody pushing that out. But you forget that those people do it professionally, so maybe they need those things because they're marketing themselves to thousands or maybe millions of people, and they gotta have every pixel, right? That's a big difference between your enthusiast and your professional that's working on something crazy like that. So you gotta think about that. What are you working for? And I think with these types of lenses, I have to say that these companies have basically outreached 90% of their market. Like, there is no enthusiast that really probably needs this lens unless you're an enthusiast looking to go pro and that's what you're trying to do. In that case, maybe you're that person that needs this lens. On the other side, I still think that all of that marketing, all those people you see doing those feed posts and stuff like that are not necessarily you, right? So if you're looking for a good lens and you're looking for something that's going to upgrade you, this might be your lens. A 50mm f1.2 means great crispness and excellent low light. Do you shoot low light? Does resolution matter all that much in the scheme of taking true photos? Maybe not. So remember that. Remember quality, performance, and cost all play into it. It's like a little iron triangle, if you want to call that. And if you haven't already and you want to hit that subscribe button, I appreciate it so much because I like to put out this kind of content for you guys, give you guys another perspective for photography, something you probably won't hear from a lot of other people because I'm just awesome sometimes. But other than that, I just have a different perspective. So thank you so much. I'm going to hit you with the... and peace out. I will see you guys in the next one.